What's up, everybody? Welcome on back to the 710 Performance YouTube channel. In this video today, we are going to be doing some upgrades to the shop. We have a fiberglass tadpole gasket that we're putting around the door of the oven. It's finally going to get a good seal so it can hold in the temp real well. This is something that we haven't done. We did have a small kind of gasket, but it didn't work that well, so we went ahead and upgraded. If you want to get a gasket like this, you can find a link in the description. It's on Amazon. The cement and the gasket kit all come together, so I'll make sure that those are linked down below. Also, we got new gloves. If you didn't notice, I messed up my hands. Well, so we don't have that issue again, we got ourselves a winch. That way we can raise and lower parts into the dip tank without having to worry about reaching into the actual rim strip dip tank. So we're excited. We're gonna go ahead and put that up, and then we're also gonna make a T bracket, and that bracket is gonna be used to raise and lower the wheels into the powder strip. That way we don't have to be dipping the winch into it. Now, before we jump into the video, if you do like this video, consider giving it a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm. It does help us out, and share it with somebody who you think may find value in it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, consider clicking the subscribe button down below and turning on all notifications. That way you don't miss any content. Now let's jump into the video. Now that we have the area cleaned off, we're going to use the fiberglass stove gas cement. And what it says to do is it says to wet the area, then apply the cement, and then we put the fiberglass gasket over it. Now, if you want to get this fiberglass gasket, it has a few different sizes. You'll see the one large size that we have will go all the way around the oven. That is pretty much the thickest one. There are some smaller slivers that are 5, 6, 7 feet long, and we are going to fill them in where we do have a couple of gaps. But let's go ahead. Jeremy's going to wet this down. I'm going to apply the cement, and then we're going to go ahead and stick the gasket over it. Let's do it. So now that we've got this on and it's holding itself up, we have to let it air dry for an hour with the door open, and then after an hour, we slowly start adding heat. So we'll start and run it to about 150 to 200 degrees. Keep it there for a few minutes, turn it off, let it cool down, turn it back on, run it up to about 300 degrees for a few minutes, turn it off, let it cool down. Then the final time we'll run it to about 450 degrees for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then we'll go ahead and turn it off, let it cool down, and it should be fully cured. So now that we got the gasket done on the oven, it's time for the second update. Now some of you may or may not know that I had an issue with my hands and the chemical stripper and gloves, so we decided to go ahead and fix that. We're going to go ahead and install a winch up here so we can go ahead and raise and lower our wheels and other items in and out of the stripper. We're also going to make basically a holder for the wheels so we can lower them down and raise them up out of the stripper. We're going to go ahead and get started by taking some measurements for the holes for the winch. Then we're going to go ahead and get it bolted up, and then we are going to go ahead and make the bracket, or the little contraption, I guess you can say, that's going to raise and lower the wheels down hooked to the winch. Let's get to it. So now we're all hooked up and got ourselves a winch for dipping.
2,000-pound winch. We're going to be able to hook up at least 2 rims at once.
Yeah, because currently we couldn't reach all the way down in the tank if we wanted to do 2 wheels. And now we're going to be able to do that, especially with this other piece we're getting ready to make. I'm just making this so they can stick right in here. There we go, and we need a raise or lower. We need to raise it up. There you go. Second shop upgrade done. Now it's time for the third and final one. Basically, we want to hook this to there's going to be a pipe with a T. That way we can slide the wheels over it, hook the hook to it, just lift up the wheels. There you go. So, and then we can move them on over to the dip tank. So we're going to go ahead and get to cutting and welding that up. Let's get to it. Now that we've got everything welded together, even though this wheel has a tire on it, all we'll do is we'll take this piece and stick it through. Hook the hook onto it.
Good enough.
When it's just the rim, it'll be a little bit smaller.
That's about as high as we need to go anyway.
Yep, that's it.
And then we'll put it, dip it, bring it back up, and then pull it over here.
And then be able to lower it and dip it. And there we go, we'll be able to dip it just like that. Okay, so it's been about an hour and a half or so. All of this is dry, you can see where it's dried up. We're gonna go ahead and close this door, and we're gonna go ahead and heat it up to about 150 to 200 degrees. Get it there for about 5 minutes or so, and then we're going to keep the door closed, turn it off, let it cool down for a few hours before we bring it up to 300 to 350 degrees. Let's go ahead and get it.